Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Irish Column for the 12th of January 2025. Paul Fitzsimons is my name. I'll be joined by Anthony Casey, Martin Murphy, and Orla Donoghue. I'm just going to pull Martin and Orla up there now. Hello, Martin. How are you? How's things?
Hey, Paul, how are we doing? How's everybody today?
How you doing, Orla? How's things?
Brian, thank you.
Yeah, it's been a lot of shit going on, hasn't it? Like, we're 2 weeks out now. We didn't do one last week. We had a couple of deaths last week and a bit of bad news, and like Orla's mum died last week, rest in peace, and my nephew died this week on Wednesday. So it's been a bit hectic for us all over the last few weeks, like, you know. So sorry we weren't here last Sunday, but it was out of our hands, yeah, as the man says. But what I do want to say is tonight, first off, I'd like to just hang on for a sec. This young lady here, it's her anniversary today, and in love and memory of Aisling Murphy. Always loved, never forgotten, never missed. R.I.P. Aisling. So there you go. Sad, isn't it? Sad.
Yeah, imagine it's 3 years.
They could have all been stopped, you know. And it's going to get worse, lads. It really is going to get worse. Like, you know what I mean? I've been looking at a few things, and you look at this Rotherham grooming gangs in England, and the amount of these Labour fellas that's after getting done, it's just horrendous, man. You know what I mean? It's rife, it's rampant everywhere. And don't think for a minute it's not here. Don't think for a minute it's not here. You know what I mean? It's definitely here, you know? And then they try to blame all of this on toxic masculinity. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I love women. It's nothing got to do with toxic masculinity. And I know you were talking about, I think, during the week, or that's a lot of crimes against women, isn't there, at the moment? There really is. And we do know that. Like,
as of this morning, a woman was found in Cavan. There has been 38 deaths since 2020 of women. 38 deaths. Like, that's a serious number for just a small country.
Yes, it is. Jesus, when I was growing up, the murder, the rate we had, the Gardaí had for murder when I was growing up as a kid was 100%. 100%, because there was never any murders in this country. And if there was no cameras, there was no anything, it was just police work. They got to the end of it. They did it. You know, I remember years ago, your man, MacArthur, was it? Was that guy that was in the Attorney General's, over in Dalkey? He was living with him. I think he killed the nurse and all that. Like, that was big news then. Like, I mean, but this is happening every other week now. It's like a regular occurrence now, you know, and it's just the norm. You know, and
it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. Like, I mean, we're only on the 12th of January, and seemingly there's been 3 deaths, and we're on the 12th of January of women.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
like, God. It's just, I don't know what to say. It's absolutely unbelievable. You know what I mean?
Thanks,
Trish.
Yeah. Hi, Orla and Martin. R.I.P. to your loved ones. Good to see you back on something. Enjoying my Sam McKell with. Cheers, Ken. Fair play.
Thanks, Ken. But yeah, no, it's just shocking. Like, to know, it really is what's going on. You know, with women, and it's not just the murders. It's the violence. It's the rapes. It's everything. It's just, as you said yourself, Paul. It's pretty much every day there is nearly something, and if it's not that, it's crimes against children.
Yeah, that's it. You know, it's, oh man, I'm just like, are we pissing against the wind here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we really, it seems as though we're going upstream here without a bleeding paddle. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody is listening. You know, I have a couple of videos there I'm going to go with in a few minutes, but, you know, you had a, sorry, hold on, where am I looking at? Have a look at that. Now, should we just talk again? There's Martin coming back on.
Sorry, I had something to do there. Orla, what you're saying there against the about the constant assaults, constant attacks. we used to live in a high trust society. We don't anymore. Women and children are at most danger, but men are in danger as well. There's Paul. You live in Dublin, you know there's no-go areas in Dublin already. There probably always was, but they're a hell of a lot worse than they used to be. In relation to, are we pissing against the wind? No, we're not. There's enough of us out there to make a difference. There really is.
Well, if we don't speak out, who else is speaking out?
There's lots of people speaking out. Our problem is we can't all speak out together. That's the
but I mean, as in, like, if it wasn't for us on our side, we're the one. You know what I mean? We're pretty much the ones speaking out. How often do you see in Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, or any of the rest of them speaking out? They're not.
You never will.
You know, it's us that are bringing all this to the attention.
Forget about the establishment. Forget about establishment politics. Forget about establishment media. If we're not building something new, we're at nothing. So we have to just concentrate on building something new and getting the message out there. It's been a I remember at the start of last year, I thought that Biden had started World War III with I think it was in the assassination of an Iranian guy. The start of this year hasn't been much better. You have the EU basically trying to stop elections in European countries, Romania, and they're even talking about it in Germany. You have all of the evils in the EU and the UK coming out against Elon Musk because he is highlighting on a huge platform the evils that are going on in Europe and the UK, and the mainstream media are just attacking him rather than talking about the likes of George Soros and his
exactly
who have been manipulating every aspect of our lives for nigh on fucking 40 years. So it's been a tough start to the year, but we keep going, we keep fighting, we keep
are going to fight. Just on your talking about Soros there and what he has done, I downloaded a thing called "If I Was the Devil." Okay, this was recorded in 1967, I think. Okay, but the pictures have changed to suit us. So let's have a listen to this. Now it's only 2.5 minutes long, and share this everywhere, people. Share this everywhere. We're flying there. We're up to 400 already. Keep going.
If I were the devil, if I were the prince of darkness, I'd want to engulf the whole world in darkness. And I'd have 1/3 of its real estate and 4/5 of its population, but I wouldn't be happy until I had seized the ripest apple on the tree. Thee. So I'd set about, however necessary, to take over the United States. I'd subvert the churches first. I'd begin with a campaign of whispers. With the wisdom of the serpent, I would whisper to you as I whispered to Eve, do as you please. To the young, I would whisper that the Bible is a myth. I would convince them that man created God instead of the other way around. I would confide that what's bad is good and what's good is square. And then I'd get organized. I'd educate authors in how to make lurid literature exciting so that anything else would appear dull and uninteresting. I'd peddle narcotics to whom I could. I'd tranquilize the rest with pills. If I were the devil, I'd soon have families at war with themselves, churches at war with themselves, and nations at war with themselves, until each in its turn was consumed. And I'd have mesmerizing media fanning the flames. If I were the devil, I would encourage schools to refine young intellects, but neglect to discipline emotions, just let those run wild. Until before you knew it, you'd have to have drug-sniffing dogs and metal detectors at every schoolhouse door. Within a decade, I'd have prisons overflowing. I'd have judges promoting pornography.
We're talking about 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds and 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds. He's got over 600 images, gobs of video footage of these children that you say this does not signal a heinous or egregious child pornography offense. And then you went on to say the defendant was merely trying to satisfy his curiosity. That's somehow a reason to only give him 3 months. Help me understand this.
Soon I could evict God from the courthouse, then from the schoolhouse, and then from the houses of Congress. I would lure priests and pastors into misusing boys and girls and church money. If I were the devil, I'd take from those who have and give to those who want it until I had killed the incentive of the ambitious. I would caution against extremes.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
I would convince the young that marriage is old-fashioned, that swinging is more fun, that what you see on TV is the way to be. In other words, if I were the devil, I'd just keep right on doing what he's doing. Paul Harvey. Good day.
How crazy is that?
Mm.
Like, seriously, like, how that's 19, that's the year before I was born. That man predicted all of this, and this is what, you know, it's exactly what's happening. And if you remember, do you remember the other night? I'll see, can I find it now in a while? The Muslim clock I sent you. Did you see that? The Muslim clock. Jesus Christ,
Yes.
man, that's crazy. That is crazy now, I have to say. It really is. Keep sharing this out there, people. But yeah, if I was the devil, and that's exactly what's happening with the transgenderism and all the courts being captured, and like, it's not just America, it's all around the world. Like, seriously, like, and when you look at COVID and everything else, the way it was all in lockstep, you know, it's just crazy, you know, really is crazy. But have we anything else there? I'll tell you what I did want to talk about as well. Speaking of Muslims, did you see this Sharia? The Sharia, what you call it? I think Derek put it up. Hang on.
The financing advice, the political firm or legal firm.
Yes, the Islamic. I'll share it with you now. Hang on. I'll just move you over there, Ola. Hang on. Shit. Hold on. Where did you go, you bastard? I'll just move you out of the way, Ola. It's not letting me. Shit. Right, there we go. This is it. Islamic financing from the revenue. Have you seen this? The term Islamic financing means any financing arrangements which are compliant with the principles of Sharia law. This law forbids the making of or receiving of interest payments. So they don't have to pay interests on loans. How shit is that to everyone else who's breaking their bollocks, to excuse me, French, to buy houses and do whatever, you know? Is that like what's that against us? You know what I mean? That shouldn't be allowed to happen. The Islamic finance.
But you're looking at all the funding they're getting for setting up businesses as well.
But even mosques, look at that mosque. Did you see the video of that mosque out in Clonskeagh or whatever? Jesus Christ, man, it's huge, like huge. Just have it there. But like, that's ridiculous. Carry on, like, you know what I mean? It really is. Let's be honest. Let me just bring that down there and I'll bring it to the next one. No, sorry, hold on. Okay, go back again. There it is there, halal mortgage. We are offering financial solutions compliant with Sharia principles for home ownership. Get in contact. UK firm offer buys Bank of Ireland's Islamic home finance portfolio. Like, you know what I mean? And that was only in December 2024. That's not even a month ago. You know what I mean? That's just crazy. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, it's just more of the two-tier society. You know, that your indigenous population is, you know what I mean? How do they control us? They control us through debt. So let's keep us in debt and let's let the invaders run riot, essentially. Look, a conversation has to be had in this country, a serious conversation about religious freedom. Okay, and is it correct to be tolerant of those who wish to destroy you? Well, the reality is it isn't. It's not, right? Islam is here to destroy Western culture. Therefore, tolerance is essentially fucking suicide. You cannot be tolerant of this ideology. It must be removed from this country.
Yes.
Yes. So, you know, like I said, whatever people want to believe in or want to pray to in the privacy of their own home, that's for each man to decide. But then again, you know, I firmly believe that non-nationals shouldn't be allowed to own a home in this country. You should not be allowed to own property. And there's examples of that all across the world. That's not an extreme thing to say. There's plenty of countries in the world that you are not allowed to own property if you are not an indigenous national. So we do need to have a serious conversation, and there's no point in roaring and shouting. And a serious conversation. How do we go about creating a system whereby Islam does not want to be here? Now, Islam wants to be everywhere, but we need to make this country so unpalatable for that ideology, and I don't call it's not a religion, it's not a faith, it's an ideology, that it no longer wants to be here. So there's ways and means of doing that. For instance, taxation is a good way to remove unwanted entities. I talk about it a lot, but like, if you're in a locality and you hear that there is a mosque, or they're looking to build a mosque in your locality, you must en masse put in objections. You must put in huge amounts of objections on various different grounds. But huge amounts of objections. The government said we don't have a veto on who lives or who does whatever in our communities. Bollocks to that. We do. We decide. So if you hear of something being as planning permission for a mosque, just put in huge and record all the emails and share them online so people know you sent them in. So huge amounts of emails to local councils, to An Bord Pleanála. And that's the route we have to take now. You probably all fall on deaf ears, but do it anyway.
They need to be hounded. They need to be absolutely hounded. So the more people that do it, the better. There's no point one or two of us doing it.
No, it's true. Hello, Anthony. How are you, mate? How's things?
How are you, Paul? How are you, Evan? Can you hear me?
I'm good. That's a knife you have. That's not a mic. So make sure you don't stab yourself in the bleeding mouth with it.
You know what it is? I haven't barely eaten today, and I'm making a sandwich as I'm talking to you.
You walk away. I'm just gonna give a shout out there for Knock No I Pass March on Sunday next January the 19th at 1 p.m. Lads, if you can get to that, please get to it because they need your help. Today is March in Ballina today. Small but solid crowd. Need to get the word out. I've seen a couple of videos from Ballina. Fair play to everyone who turned out there today. And listen, just keep helping people out. That's all we can do. We have to keep getting the word out as well. So for Knock next Sunday, 1 p.m. and well done, Ballina today. Fair play. Go ahead, Anthony. Sorry.
Is there any update on Mount Mallory?
Well, as far as I know, it's still closing its doors at the end of this month, which is coming along fairly fast. I can't really give you a substantial update on it at the moment. There was more people turned up for mass than usual over the Christmas period. But apart from that, I don't know. There is still talks ongoing there, but I don't know if there's much headway or much news to say.
Listen, man, they're just pushing people out of the way here. That's what they're doing. They're doing it everywhere. Like the Crown Paints thing was granted on the 7th, Tuesday night. Now, I got onto the councillors the whole lot, and I asked a couple of councillors, I said, lads, how did you let this go through? And they said, it was nothing got to do with us. They knew nothing about it. It wasn't on the agenda. It was done the next day, and it was your man who did it. What's his name? He's the manager. He's the manager of the planning manager, and it was him who gave the exemption order for them to go through, granted the exemption order for them to go into Crown. Now, whether they don't understand this or not, I know we had Alan on 2 weeks ago talking about it.
Yeah, about the asbestos and everything. So how is it even allowed? Yeah,
but never mind the asbestos. Okay. What's happening here is he is at the granting that they rezoned that in 2022, in November 2022. Okay. The chief executive of Richard Shakespeare of the DCC, he's still there. He said in July 22 that cannot be rezoned from a zone 6 to a zone 10. He said it wasn't to be done. There was an executive order done. Alan has all the details. And what happened was in the November, they had a meeting themselves without Mr. Shakespeare, and they voted in. All the councillors voted in. Now we can put the names up as well. I'll put the names up of the councillors later. I'll get them up, Alan. But they changed it from a zone 6 to a zone 10. But a zone 6, as Alan said, that was or zone 10 is light industrial. That's a heavy industrial building, so it can't be going in there, and it's pre-63, which means it is exempt from the exemption orders. Like, it's only anything after 63 or anything into 64 is to do with these exemption orders. Anything before that is exempt from the exemption orders, and people need to fucking realize that. They're breaking the law here. They're breaking their own laws here. You know what I mean? So we're going to work this again.
They don't give a shit.
No, I know that. I understand that. But this is what I'm saying. But we have to fight them with the law here. We can't. We're not. Listen, we could all stand. I've been talking about this for weeks. We can all stand out there and protest and roar and shout and do, and all they will do is pick up the dissenters and lock them up. That's all they're going to do. And then there'll be no more people to talk, no more people to do anything. This is the plan. I've seen them doing it. They've done it with Philip. They stopped Philip from doing interviews for months because of this, you know what I mean? And that's what Philip does, you know what I mean? And that's what Philip does best. Anyone who with a dissenting voice, they're trying to get them all into one place and let's lift them all. That's what they're trying to do. I'm telling you now, I can see this coming. It's ridiculous, like.
But there should be enough reason to stop it between all of that and then between all the stuff for the health and safety, for the asbestos and all that. There should be enough reasons to stop it.
Yeah. Well, they don't give a shit. That's the thing. They don't give a shit.
What about the councillors? Is there no decent councillors up in Cooley?
No, there's none of them on our side up there. There's none of them on our side. We wrote to the councillors and we got messages back from 2 or 3 of them saying, oh, I won't be pursuing this any further because a lot of the people in the community don't agree with your values. Thank you for your email. That was it. That was it. You know what I mean? So, come on, you know what I mean?
You know, Paul, like it seems like, you know, we heard about this with Athlone as well. Like these guys, the councillors, they seem to jump on this bandwagon and this seems to be a play they have. You know, like Shinadina called out Athlone's situation and they reacted to it the following week. And then all of a sudden, Boxer Moran was everywhere around and,
yeah.
You know what I mean? He was the guy who was going to lead this. One of their own Fianna Fáil, Fianna Gael guys, you know. And now their works are still going ahead. I hope people are banging at their door.
Yeah, but like that's, you know, I'm just going to say a shout out to Pat Casey if you're watching, fella. Well done, fella. Enjoy. I hope you have a good one tonight with us. Cheers, fair play. But what was I going to say? Yeah, only for Shinadina that wouldn't have happened. No, like I believe that. You know what I mean? I really do believe that. But why do Fianna Fáilers and Fianna Gaelers come out and go against their own parties here? It just doesn't fucking add up. You know what I mean? It doesn't add up. You know what I mean?
It's all
and then nothing was won. Like nothing was won. It was stopped. It wasn't even stopped. The work went ahead. You know, and everyone is saying, oh, Athlone had a big win and the councillors did great. They did fuck all. It's still the same. You know what I mean? It's worse even now. And then you've Clonmel. Clonmel is fucking hell. Clonmel is huge. Like, lads, these are like army bases. I don't give a shit what anyone says, you know?
There's another one, Paul, now, and Orla will know about this one. Carlo has towers, and I see Shinadina called out all the TDs and all the councillors from Carlo Kilkenny to ask them the question because the Ukrainians have been told to leave this by the end of this month, which is similar time in a few different places, but yet there's still modular homes being delivered this week. I drove by it the other day and I saw them myself. So if they've been asked to leave and there's more modular homes coming in, what does that mean? They'll switch it.
Bypass is coming in. We know. I said it from day one. The minute I heard it, and I said it to you, Anthony, I said, it doesn't matter if the Ukrainians are going out, IPAS, I guarantee you, is coming in. Because that place of Towhurst has kind of been done up inside and that. They're not going to turn around and just leave that place like that. And your man has got millions. What's he going to do? Turn around and say, oh, no, thank you, I don't want any more money? No.
Yeah, but okay. Ask the other question. Where are the Ukrainians going? Are they after being given houses? You know, where are they going?
Well, some of them could be going home, so they're not getting the money to wear.
So some are
there's
being
nowhere
told,
to put people now. Our own homeless are on the streets. We haven't got the room. There's no room at the inn. So either they're giving them new houses or, you know,
in Athlone, what they did was there was 2 sites there. There's an existing site, and then there was a new site of Somalian men. And they turned around and they told the existing refugees who've been there for a few years that we will relocate you. We will pay for you leaving. So it's not as though they're taking as many people as they can possibly house out of the goodness of their heart. They're clearly making a profit. Look, Nick Delahunty has shown the paper trails behind all of this. We've seen ourselves through documents, through Shinadina. Like, there's massive corruption. Like, this is why these modular homes cost $440 now. They don't. They cost 40 grand. That's what they cost 2 years ago. Last year was 220 grand.
They were 42 grand. That's what they were. Now they're 10 times more. But people are under the illusion, no, they're gone up, they're doubled, they're 440, they were 220. They were 42 grand in 2022.
Yeah.
And then they went up to 2023, they went up to 220, and then they went up to bleeding 440. Come on, lads. Who's
The worrying thing is, what do we do? You know, if protesting isn't working, it's the legal route, they're shunning it. What do you do? You know, this has to be. A lot of people have to think about this. Like, what other way are there to tackle this?
Yeah, Ryan there. Hi, Orla and Paul Simons. Would love coming on the show. Love your show every Sunday. Ryan, we just have too much on to be talking about tonight now, to be whatever. But I will organise an interview with you, mate. We'll even record it and bring you on then and show the recording. Yeah, that's no problem, Ryan. Thanks for tuning in, bro. But yeah.
Just a quick one there from Victoria. She was on there. There's a protest gathering meeting, whatever you want to call it, in Knock next Sunday, 19th, 1 p.m. So anybody who can make it up there, please do your very best to get up there. It's our biggest shrine, most important shrine in the country. So it's really, really important. If you can make it there, please do.
Yeah, exactly. Please do. But yeah, and your dad is good, Anthony, is he? That's good. Brilliant.
Yeah, look, he's doing better and better every week. So I was in with him today. Had a coffee. He walked all the way from his ward, which is not a close distance. Brought the kids in. His brother was there. My brother was there from Mayo. It was great.
Days. Yeah, happy days. Totally. But we're all watching. I was watching this shit coming out of America, the fires. It's just ridiculous, like, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anthony, have you a video there? Have you LA fires deliberate? Okay, I'm just going to play exactly
what it is, but go with it.
Yeah, we'll come back and talk over this stuff in a few minutes. But this, we need to talk about this because this is heavy shit. Like, you know what I mean?
This is it for us, as the California fire will burn the entire land mass, causing California to no longer exist, and the government is now reported to stop at nothing to burn us all alive. People were terrified after Ali Carter, lead victim in the Diddy case, said the LA fires are not from Earth, as videos show alleged lasers coming out of the fires, and specifically burning exactly where Diddy and his other celebrity friends' homes are, leaving not even rocks behind. But it gets stranger, as even the new president is coming out to say the California governor had shut off the fresh water supply to California right before the fire, leaving the firefighters fighting this with dry fire hydrants and helicopters, with even the mayor leaving California altogether, but had cut $17.6 million of funding from the fire department right before, and even the insurance companies that covered fires for decades cutting off fire insurance just months before this. With haunting videos of the California fires spreading so rapidly, CNN reports this cannot be a normal fire, as it is not only 0% contained after days, but it's destroying a distance of 5 football fields every minute.
Now, what's your thoughts on that one, lads?
It's mental.
There's a lot of things at play there. So, first of all, this is where woke gets you. If you're a state that's entirely run by woke, whatever you want to call them, right, your systems won't work because these people are idiots. So you have to have a certain amount of systems in place for your fire service to work, to make sure your reservoirs are full. Now, fires in LA are very common. Like that's the climate they have over there, and it's the same as like anybody who's in the country. You know about burning the bogs and stuff like that here, and you know what I mean. We have controlled burns in Ireland as well. It's something that has to be done. So a huge amount of things were not done in relation to. We'll say storing water reservoirs. The fire department had gone completely woke. They were more worried about tampons in men's bathrooms, etc. All that nonsense. You have a governor of that state who is just the poster boy of woke. You know what I mean? He's fucking. He's essentially
Newsom. Gavin Newsom. Yeah.
So you a lot of systems there. Then there are credible theories that because it happened in Hawaii and it's happened in other places, that these valuable properties are being destroyed. So insurance companies, James Woods is a fantastic Twitter account. You should follow him. His house, I'm not sure if it was destroyed, or did it go that far? But on his Twitter account, he said that, and he lives in the area, that 4 months prior to this, one of the major insurers in the area had cancelled a lot of people's home insurance.
Yeah.
that would make you think that this is actually planned, because what will happen now is these properties are destroyed. Nefarious entities will swoop in and buy up the property for nothing, and maybe rebuild a 15-minute city.
No, you
I don't know.
No, you haven't.
Maybe.
Well, haven't they got plans for 2028?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
well, look,
Yeah.
2028, 2030, 2050.
It doesn't matter when. The plans are in place. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like,
So,
and then there's the other thing as well. These Diddy files. You know what I mean? Like, how come all their houses have burnt down? Like, you know what I mean? Is that the evidence? I don't know.
Sounds like a Hawaii.
I'm listening to everything here. You know what I mean? But your woman Ali Carter did come out and say this in October. I remember listening to her. I have it there somewhere. I'm not going to play it because, listen, I don't want to be getting into all that shit over there. But, like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, this is fucking happening. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm going to go with just Trump here now, because Trump, this is on the Joe Rogan podcast 2 months ago, before he was elected. Okay.
They said, we have no water. I said, do you have a drought? No, we don't have a drought. I said, why don't you have no water? Because the water isn't allowed to flow down. It's got a natural flow from Canada all the way up north. Water, more water than they could ever use. And in order to protect a tiny little fish, the water up north gets routed into the Pacific Ocean. Millions and millions of gallons of water gets poured. I could have water for all of that land. Water for your forests. You know, your forests are dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Okay?
Dangerous.
That water could be routed. You know, you could have everything. Oh, not only dangerous, billions of dollars a year they spend on forest fires. And, you know, there's a case with the environment. They're not allowed to rake their forests because you're not allowed to touch it. And all they have to do is clean their forest, meaning rake it up, get rid of the leaves, get rid of, leaves that are sitting there for 5 years. And
we'll certainly get rid of the dead fall.
And get rid of the trees that have fallen
Yeah.
that, you know, are like.
You know what I mean? He said it. I remember listening to that interview, like, you know what I mean? So, like, they know about this, you know what I mean? It has been planned. It's fucking crazy.
The green agenda is affected the states as well. But look, their whole system is woke as fuck. They're in the same scenario we're in, only on a much grander scale,
much larger scale. Yeah.
Look, the woke left. Look, they destroy everything they touch. They absolutely destroy everything they touch. They can't run systems. They don't just. They need to go. And look, hopefully we'll see a bit of a pushback now. It'll be very interesting to see what happens in Ireland and the wider European area when Trump actually takes power, because it's all talk until he actually does something. You know what I mean? I would hope with Musk's influence that Europe is going to face massive sanctions. Just as a little warning, to we'll say perhaps pull back some of their agenda or slow down some of their agenda. But then again, look, you've got people said that Musk and fucking Trump are as corrupt as the rest of them, and it's all just two cheeks of the same arse. Who's to know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You'd like to think that there's. Look, the only reason why I have hope that Trump isn't, like, I was one of the first people who said, look, that's only skin deep, because here you have a guy who can't tackle a set of steps and someone who can't finish a sentence, and you know, they're meant to be the opposition, the deep state. You know, but at the same time, we've seen historically when these false allegations, and we've heard about, you know, judges being bribed for, you know, to dirty Trump's name, and it definitely has worked. Is it all just, you know, to get two sides to battle each other out? I don't know. I would hope that maybe, like, RFK seems to be doing little small things already. He was looking to change the ingredients in certain soft drinks, and, you know, in Coca-Cola, I think he's looking to remove certain dangerous substances in the food chain. He is getting involved.
Food colorants, yeah, he's doing a lot of food colorant, taking stuff out, and Cheerios and all of this shit. Like,
that red food colorant apparently is horrendous, isn't it?
As fuck. Yeah. I'm meant to be reading up about all of that.
Yeah, but so you would hope that there is a few good guys at least that seem to be siding up to his team. Now, Musk, you see this whole thing with Zuckerberg. See him on Joe Rogan, and they were talking about the freedom of speech, and that's interesting to me. I don't know if how true that is. I didn't get to watch the full episode of that, and now they're coming out saying that.
I watched a good bit of it, and listen, from what I get from that, woke is fucking dead, man. That's it. It's gone. They know Trump is here, and that's it. It's gone. Listen,
think so? Is he?
Yeah, he's not fucking. He's from day one. He's fucking outlawed and all sorts of shit. He has executive orders ready to go and the whole lot. Like, you know what I mean? So they know.
Remember, we had this conversation before about something. Now again, as what Anthony's saying there, Trump knows about what's going on with the children in America, and he's known about that for a long, long time.
Yeah, Glenn has arrived there. Let's just bring Glenn up there. Hang on, Councillor Mirror, how are you? Hello, Glenn.
Sorry for my tardiness.
Yeah, Glenn, what time do you call this now?
Oh, yeah. I was only 10 minutes late or something. I didn't realise it was 9:30.
Yeah. Are you dressed up for us, Glenn?
No. Just
no. Sitting in his jocks and his hoodie.
Hey, what's wrong with a hoodie?
No. It's the jocks I'll be more worried about. I can't sit in my jocks. I'm freezing out here. I have long johns and everything bleeding on me. Super hair stopped working 2 weeks
Sorry,
ago.
Glenn. There's none of us here interested. Sorry. So.
Anthony's gone running.
Sanctions will affect Sorry, Trump sanctions will affect the working class American pocket. Price goes up. Their side with sanctions. If they do business lower profits, blah blah blah. Okay, sympathetic food. Okay.
Yeah, look. Sorry, Paul. Go on.
Go on.
No, I just on that comment in relation to what that comment was there about the sanctions affecting the working class in America. The American economy is banjaxed regardless. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Trump is the one who offers the digital currency, because the dollar is fucked. Their inflation and their debt is through the roof. There's no recovering from it. The only way to recover from it is a massive collapse again. And just basically reset back to zero, wipe out a load of debt, default on a load of debt, and but that's a decade of pain for everybody.
Yeah. We were talking there. Did you see about the wildfires we were talking about, Glenn?
I did, yeah. And I remember going back to seeing the Joe Rogan podcast with Trump saying there's a serious water problem with California, and it should be, he thought about removing dry leaves and everything like that, operations that should be in place. He said it's too dangerous, and then this happens, and Trump just turns around. I told you, I literally told you. And then the governor has the cheek to turn around and say, like, oh no, Trump shouldn't have said this and shouldn't have said that. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I said, did they try to catch him at anything? Like, how many homes are burnt down? What's the number?
Oh, stop, man. Jesus, it's gone ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? But they're talking about this what's it called? The Dragon for a laser. Have you seen this fucking Dragon for a laser thing that they mount on the plane?
Oh.
Have you seen this?
No.
Right,
I've seen enough videos. I've seen enough videos where, the fire is miles away, but you're talking about just a small little ember would blow into the wind and it would catch fire on.
Yeah, but there's a lot of them videos. I'm not saying they're fake, right? I'm not saying that they're fake where they're shooting the fucking out of the flamethrower and the helicopter. A lot of fires have to be put out that way. They do a fire, they make their own fire in the middle, more or less, and that burns out, and then the fire gets to that and stops. I've seen that happening, you know what I mean? And some people think that's, oh no, look, they're setting fire to this. That mightn't be that at all, okay? It might just be that that's what they're doing. It's a burnout.
Oh no, they're controlled burns. Exactly. There's been numerous arsonists actually arrested.
There's 12 of them.
Yeah.
12 of them. And 2 of them were caught with United Nations fucking documents on them and everything.
And credit cards, yeah. So
yeah,
look, it's it's just fucking. It's just you're trying to rationalize in your head. You're trying to find ways to say it that you don't sound like a crazy person. But yeah, they're trying to kill all of us. Did anybody see the? Did anybody see the Extinction Rebellion guy the Greens had talking?
No.
Go on. So,
this is in Dublin. This is only a few days ago. So the Greens had members of Extinction Rebellion giving a talk at one of their get-togethers, and this guy said out loud that they will take the government and people will die.
The Greens?
This is, Extinction Rebellion, the numpties who block roads and glue themselves to the.
Yeah.
So the Greens had a speaker at one of their events, and he said out loud. Now, if I said this out loud, what he said, I would be arrested and I would be sent to jail.
Of course, yeah.
But this guy stood up with elected representatives and said that they're willing to take the government out and put a government that they want in, and that people will die. I'll see if I can find the video and I'll send it on to you.
Loonies, absolute loony.
Well, that's it. But like, there's lots of things like that happening. People putting out things online. If I put it out or someone else put it out, we'd be arrested. It's. I don't know how. I just don't know. It's because they're not like us. You know what I mean? If it was me or you, Martin, we would be lifted from our houses. Simple as that. And I believe that. Ken Donnelly, Paul, you're bringing a comment back from Mickey Tip. Townsend Moore, I think you have an admirer who wants to share his Twix. I probably should be reading these before I post them. Oh, God. Go on. Sorry. Go on. Go ahead there.
But look, we have to remember, right? If this agenda is going ahead for 2030, they're going to start ramping it up, right? And I've been talking to a good few people, and I don't believe this government is going to last 5 years. I think that there probably will be another election in the next year or two, because I think things are just going to go absolutely crazy. They're going to try and bring in more and more mental crap. You know what I mean?
A government won't collapse due to the state of the country. A government only collapse due to the state of the integrity of every member, but like the cohesion between each member. So they're all on board for what they could. No, the last 5 years, doesn't matter how much damage they'll do. They're all happy to do it, and it'll continue on.
But remember as well, 100,000 on the street will overthrow our government.
That's not true.
It's in the Constitution.
I have checked the Constitution before for it, and I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's definitely there. 100,000 on the street. Now you need to get 100,000 on the streets.
100,000 doesn't represent the majority of people. You need at least 51% of the majority of people on the streets, and that's
the figure that's given. The 100,000.
But your population, but imagine our population drops below 100,000. That can't be in the Constitution. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, there is. It's definitely. I've seen it. I've seen the 100,000. And then you can overthrow your government.
I don't know. I'll have to confirm that. I remember someone else.
Listen, we can only get 10,000. So I'm sorry, lads. We've tried our best to get more than 10,000. We haven't been.
I know what we'll do. We'll say we're going to bring back the water charges, and that'll get them back out.
Yeah.
But I do think I think that they will bring everything in really crazy, and we need to be prepared. We can't go into a general election like we did the last time. We need to be prepared. We need to be working now.
People have to realise the water charges was full of lefties as well. You know what I mean? Like, they were all on board with the water charges. You know what I mean? Nobody wanted water charges. You know what I mean? Now we have probably 10,000 able bodies that will get out all the time. You know what I mean? If the lefties call marches, you've seen the lefties calling marches where they get the unions in and everyone else, and they have fucking thousands. You know what I mean? That's what they do. We need to organise like that. We need to have organisation and structure like that, and that's how we will win this war. Yeah, you know what I mean? Stop the whole country.
We need to be organising ourselves now, not in a month's time, not in 6 months' time, not in a year's time. We need to start now and start working away.
I can see loads of comments there. Like, I mean, people are saying like you can't vote out, corruption, and then people have said like the political system is corrupted or the voting is corrupted. You have I've been around camps, and like you have to realize a lot of our people aren't awake. That's just the truth.
Yeah, no, I know that.
And I'm shocked as well. But the vast majority of people went out and they cast their vote for Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, and that's it. You can't. You have to wait until things get bad for them to wake up and say, "Oh God, it's actually worse than we thought." You actually should switch sides now.
But it will, Glenn. It will get progressively worse, and probably in the next couple of years, it'll get worse a hell of a lot faster. Yeah. We've seen what happened in Germany and Sweden and Italy and all these other countries, and that is coming here, and it's coming quite quickly.
But the Swedes are saying the exact same thing we're saying. They're saying that, like, why are people going out and voting for the people that have caused us to be the rape capital of Europe? It's because they haven't gone through enough problems in order to see it. Like, people only wake up when you hear your neighbour, something bad has happened to your neighbour, only when it comes close to home. When people say, rape has gone up in the country, that's not going to convince people to switch.
No, I know. I'm just sorry. I'm just laughing at the comments here. They're fighting over Glenn.
Yeah, no. Look, I don't like saying it. I wish I could say it. I wish I could say exactly what you were saying, Orla. Like we get there, and people, the system is corrupt and all that. It's not. It really is not. Like there's people outside the polling stations asking people like, who did you vote for? And they were saying Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael and Sinn Féin. That's just the truth. And the people that would have voted for us, they didn't bother their whole to get up and vote. That's the truth.
No, I know what you're saying.
I disagree fully with you, Glenn. But listen,
no, I mean, I know what you mean, right? I'm very serious about this. I don't mean that in a very bad way. It's just the people that would vote for us are the ones that are alienated from voting. That's what I mean. They're the ones that say, I'm not going to vote. There's no change in the system. They're the ones that would vote for us. And that's
I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of the people that didn't vote for me would have been because of the leaving the European Union. That's exactly why. I'd say that had a lot to do with me not getting some votes, but I reckon I got a hell of a lot more than I did get. But that's another day's conversation. That's a whole show we'll do on that. You know what I mean?
This is one thing I never understand about people. They say, "Oh, we wouldn't survive without the European Union." I ask them how. Tell me how. Like, in what way, in what regard? Is it money? Is it resources? Oh, they're like, "Oh, it's everything." We don't get anything from the European Union at this stage. Nothing.
You ask people that question. They don't give you an answer. But you know that they don't want to leave the EU. So they haven't got a valid argument. It's the norm to be in the EU. So that's where we're staying. And I reckon that's where a lot of votes went and where we lost a lot of votes. So
I encourage people to look at the European, like there's a famous YouTuber or something like that in there at the moment from another country, and he shows you exactly how the European Union is going. And it just shows you, like, no one gives a shit about the votes. No, their electronic system, they have an electronic voting system in there, and it's not even working. It's actually broken, and they haven't bothered to fix it. And then they do all the hands up, and then whoever is the chair that's reading the votes, he just says, "Oh yeah, that's passed." When 80% of them is like against, it's madness. Like it's not democracy anymore. But then you have the people in our country and all throughout Europe saying, "Oh, look, the European Union look after us, and it's a great system and all." With the video evidence that we've seen, I doubt it.
Yeah. Just sheepdog there, just put in there. The government won't be allowed last 5 years, although maybe they will, as they are so heavily controlled by the geopolitically retarded. Calling a Jewish-controlled American president a gowl. Did you see him tracking back on that?
Yeah, saw that, and then backtracking afterwards,
Fucking Egypt.
I know.
I was actually talking. I was talking to a Republican. I think he's a congressman, maybe a congressman in a state or a congressman in the federal government. I have no idea. But he said the Republicans know that. When he actually thought the Prime Minister was Simon Harris, and I told him no, it's actually it'd be Micheál Martin. He's like, oh, it's like, well, Republicans know. He didn't know the term gowl. He didn't know, but he said he called him Trump a nasty name, and it's they're aware of it. So I was like, oh my God, that's brilliant. Like if Simon Harris is ever Taoiseach, Trump will know exactly what he called him. Like it doesn't go. Like, it's all. If any world leader calls an American president or has any ill will, the president will know. Simple as that. They're told. They're informed, like between their diplomats and ambassadors, whatever it is. Their experts say, look, you're going to Ireland, or the Irish Taoiseach is coming here. He called you this and has this opinion of you. You know, he can't become Taoiseach now. Well, I hope he doesn't.
Yeah, he will. Watch, lads. Look at all the drop-off since the elections. Where the fuck is Liberty Republic and Gilroy? 2 weeks on the run up to the election, they were everywhere endorsing this, that, and the other. It's true. I thought I was mistaken Ben Gilroy for believing Donald Trump. The amount of people he was endorsing, like, you know what I mean? Come on. But
it's not just him; it's others. Like there's a lot of people have just dropped off. After elections, they just.
But here, hold on a minute, right? This is no messing, right? Herman rang me. Herman told me, right? Ben Gilroy, his secretary. Ben didn't ring Herman. His secretary rang Herman and told Herman, "Listen, Ben is not running in Dublin Bay North, and he's not going to run against your candidate. But he won't be endorsing your candidate. He'll be endorsing Michael Bugg." And I said, "Who the fuck is Ben Gilroy?" I said, "I don't want to be getting endorsed by anyone." I said, "What's that bollocks all about?" And that was the laugh. Like, I mean, like, who goes around endorsing people? And get a grip, will you? For fuck's sake. You know what I mean? Herman is a clown. Well, listen, that's up to yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah, more views. Who's gone off? We're off there, are we? No. Lads are back. Big up, Glenna. Okay, let's see what else we have there. Right.
Well,
I'm gonna go.
Can we
with,
talk, Paul, about Sorry. I was going to say today is actually Murphy's anniversary passing, isn't it? The 12th.
Yeah, today. Yeah, we said it at the start. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Sorry.
We have it there.
Sorry, I missed the start.
Did you want to play that Ashley Murphy anniversary?
Yeah, sure. I think because I know Orla has a little bit to say on some stuff that's related to it as well. So yeah, unless I missed all of that today.
No, we didn't. We spoke a little bit.
Yeah, we spoke a little bit about that at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll just play this and we'll come back. Well, something else, isn't it?
That was lovely. It was really nice.
Yeah, really was. Now I have to say, you know, is Anthony coming back up yet? Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paul. You know what it is, and I don't. Anyway, I'll tell you in a minute. Yeah, it is nice. You know what scares me about that situation? You know, we all felt that situation. I remember getting beds delivered to my house about 2 years ago, and the guy was from that town that was delivering them, and he was worried that we got all new beds in the house, and he was worried he was delivered to an iPass centre. He says, you know, people don't.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Yeah, people don't even recognise how many there actually are that they don't have no idea about. This was a year, you know, it's only about a year and a half ago, and he said to me, you know who's profiteering in that local town? So what is her local town again? I know it's Midlands. Some might put it in.
Somewhere in Offaly.
Yeah,
it's her uncle. It's her father's brother who's the profiteer, and he's still going strong. Now I know, look, he wasn't directly out of an iPass centre, but Tullamore, is it Tullamore? Yeah, something to put in Chris Byrne in Tullamore. But we can see even the Gardaí, like around, remember the Gardaí were putting out the notices of crime escalating and the risks of crime because of Thornton Hall and stuff like that. People know that these are massively higher risks. The crime rate and the rape and everything's going up all throughout Europe. Your rape, they call it. Like, it's disgusting. And you have people like that so close to home profiteering for it. Like, really, money is the root of all evil. It is horrendous. Like, talking about Carlo, we were talking about towers earlier on. It's the same few people that turn over everywhere and are shoving people in. Like, I really don't believe there's one person who thinks they're doing that out of the goodness of their heart, you know. Everyone knows what it is. Just be brave enough to call it out, and we can all stand together about it, you know.
Yeah.
fucking wrecks my head how people bury their head in the sand and stick on Netflix every evening.
But then they come up with the toxic masculinity thing, like what the media did. Do you remember that?
It's the problem.
And everything else.
It's the problem.
Yeah. I'm going to play, before we talk about this, I'm just going to play what the Git has to say here about this, and we'll come back and talk to it.
Roll up, roll up. Aisling Murphy was killed on the banks of the canal in Tullamore by toxic masculinity. It stabbed her 11 times in the neck. Oh no, it was a foreign man, a Roma gypsy, that wouldn't be in the country if it wasn't for the EU's open border policy. And the people will tell you can't paint all foreigners with the same brush. And that's right, you can't. But them same people that'll tell you that are trying to paint all men with the same brush.
More young lads are calling out bad behaviour and disgusting behaviour. The reality is, like Aisling Murphy, a brilliant, beautiful young girl in the prime of her life, was essentially killed by a man. And by the way, this was billed at the start. People were talking about Joseph Pushka's nationality. The far right brigade were leaning into this as well, and delighted that this was a man not of Irish origin. But the reality is, this was gender based. He killed a woman that day because he could, simply because he could, physically he could.
So men are to blame. It's gender based violence. He murdered her because he's a man, not because he's a psychopath or a scumbag or anything like that, but because he's a man and he physically could. Yet the same people telling you this are the same people that'll argue the opposite point when it comes to biological males competing in women's sports. If violence against women is to end, boys and young men need to be educated about toxic masculinity. The problem in this country isn't toxic masculinity. It's lack of masculinity. Where are all the men? If you don't stand up, this is going to happen again. Oh, and just an FYI, Irish women are very tough and very strong people. And I'm of the opinion that a lot of Irish women would be well able to defend themselves against a lot of the Irish men, because these days a lot of Irish men are nothing but cooks and betas. Some of them paint their nails, wear makeup. The only time they ever raised their arms was to take a selfie to post it on Instagram. It's pathetic. Some of them even cry if you call them a man.
There you go. That's the Git again, and I have to love them. I do. They did come out and blame all men, tried to do this about all men.
Do you remember that documentary? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on. What about the? Sorry, someone just mentioned there. Two gay men beheaded in Sligo. They didn't say it was man violence there.
No.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm trying to tell you. The likes of Ruth Coppinger and all of these scumbags that jump on the femicide thing and all of this shit. When it's a foreign national that does this, they're silent. But if it's an Irish man, they're all over the news. Yeah. Why is that? You know what I mean? You have to ask yourself why.
So let's have a serious conversation. Right. It's 3 years since that poor woman was brutally murdered. What have we done? Exactly. Okay, so we tried to run for local office. Glenn, you had some success there. Resty ran for national election, you know what I mean, got some votes. Tried to organise some grassroots movements. We've tried to. What actually have we done? What have we done to ensure that never happens again? And it has happened again. The reality is not enough. We need to stop talking. And to anybody watching who knows kind of what's going on in the country, everybody needs to stop bickering as well, and realise that there's no perfect solution. There's no perfect person, and you're not fucking right. I'm not fucking right. Okay, we need to compromise together, or this is going to keep happening and happening and happening and happening. It's time for everybody just to cop on, grow up, and decide, okay, what do you want for this country? What now, Irishman? I keep saying it. What now, Irishman? You know, it's really time everybody just copped the F on. Paul, you know there's stuff going on in your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Anthony, you're aware of stuff. Orly, you're aware of stuff. Everybody's aware of stuff going on in their neck of the woods with infighting and silliness, and just drop it. Everybody come together. If you can't come together, just build your own little network in your own area. Forget about big, massive organizations. Forget about everything. Just build something in your own community, in your own housing estate. If there's 100 houses where you live, just build a community in that thing. Get 10 lads out of that 100 that will actually just keep an eye out for the dodgy vans and the dodgy guys walking around the place. In relation to combating Islam, I've talked about it before. Starve them of finances. Starve them of money. Don't shop. If you don't like the look of these guys, don't spend money in their businesses. Don't get your fucking chips there. Don't get your whatever they're selling. Everybody can do something to slow down what's happening. Okay. Mm-hmm. But I it's a shout out to everybody. Stop fighting. right? Forget about it. It's all in the past. We can't change anything in the past, but we can build a new future. But I see it all the time, the bickering and the infighting and it's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. I don't care what you are or who you are, right? It's a case of this. Do you want to save Irish lives? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, we can work together. It is as simple as that. Now, there's some assholes out there. I can be an asshole sometimes. Do you know what I mean? But get over it. Everybody just get over it. Cop on. Be an adult. Because
and you know, Martin, you spoke about that. Go and get 10 people. Shin Nadina put that out. Get 10 people. Report back when you need us. You know, we'll be there, and when we need you, you know, you'll turn up. You know, this matters. This is matter of life and death stuff we're talking about here. Like, if you have a neighborhood person who wants to be in that group and you don't want to be in with them, drop it. Drop the ego. Who cares? It's not about you. Go and join up and put it to bed, because people's lives are at stake now, and Ireland is being destroyed, and we're losing this battle. We're losing it right now. Let there be no leaders and no ego, and just bandy together. You don't have to have the chats every day, but if you see something going wrong in your area, in your locality, you get on the phone, you alert other people to it, you reach out to the central hub. We have to do something, you know.
Yeah. Well, I've said this, Anthony, you know what I've been doing in the background, and I've said this, we need to be working in our community. We need to be doing as much as we possibly can, putting down roots, getting people to know us better. And we need to be doing it now. Not in weeks to come, not in months to come. Now is the time, right? It's the same as, you know, we'll say the homeless situation, right? We're up there and we're giving out about homelessness and this, that, and the other. I'm very vocal about it, right? But I mean, how many of us has actually done something about it, right? I've said to people, you know, go out. Like, we are in, like, the homeless situation in this country is absolutely desperate at the moment. Like, I done a video for the Liberty Soup Run. I've been highlighting, you know, what the need is in relation to food and clothing and all that. There's loads of homeless organisations all over the country, right? I've reached back out to the Good Shepherd, which is in Kilkenny. I'm going to be helping out with them again, because we need to start putting our money where our mouth is. And instead of there, as you said yourself, Martin, fighting and rowing online and nonsense like that, we should be all standing beside each other and helping each other out and doing as much as we possibly can, because we have no idea what's coming up. We also have no idea about what woman is going to be murdered next, or what child is going to be attacked next. And that is more important. Do you know what I mean? So as you said yourself, people need to cop on and grow up and start putting Irish lives. Like 27 people as of this morning, women, sorry, not people, 27 people as of this morning has died in this country since Ashling Murphy. 27 women. And we're in a small country. Like 38 in the last 5 years have died. Like, that's going to increase more and more and more. Look what is going on with all the children in this country as well, and the pedophilia. Like, there's over 300 children missing. 227 are dead in state care. Like, this is what I mean. We need to be working together and highlighting, because it's us that's calling all of this out. It's not going to be the ones in government. It's us calling this out. And we need to be doing more and more of this and highlight and getting people to wake up to what is going on, because it's going to get progressively worse and worse, and it will land on people's doors, whether it be their sister, their niece, their nephew, their daughter, their son, whatever, their mother, their grandmother at this stage. Look at that 90-year-old woman that was attacked in a hospital. So no woman is safe. No child is safe in this country, and even men are being attacked. Do you know? And we really need, as I said, to start, you know, copping ourselves on, you know, and actually thinking about what we're going to do, and, you know, to protect women, to protect children, to protect people in this, you know, in our country before things get like 100 times worse. We see what's going on in, as I said, Italy, Germany, Sweden. That is coming to our door unless we stand together and we're stronger together. Sorry, just makes me so mad.
No, you're okay. Fair play to you. Well said. Well said. Well said. But it's true. And it's not happening. This is the thing. It's not happening in the people who aren't coming out and stopping this, like the likes of Coolock, the likes of, we know what's going on up there. Like, they have all banded together, and they're a great crew up there. I have to say, the people at Coolock are just amazing. You know what I mean? They really are. They band together, but they need to band together now more than ever.
Yeah,
they need to come together. They need to get these signs up. They need to stop Crown from being planted, and we need to do it a legal route as well. So, as do all of the other iPass places. Like, they know now what to do. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like the end of Die Hard. Do you remember when the plane goes up and the light lights the runways? And now they all know what to do. Follow the flames. You know, people know what to do now to put in these court cases. fair play to the people who helped us with the court case. I have to say, Melissa and Brendan, they were great. They were absolutely amazing, I have to say. But everyone knows what to do now, and this is what we need to do. We need to fight these with the law. If we can even get this stopped for a few weeks while this case goes on again, we need to get affidavits in. We need to get everything in. You know what I mean? As Orla said earlier, the people of Coolock, some of the people of Coolock don't know the dangers of the asbestos. So this needs to be stopped. It needs to be stopped everywhere. Dundrum should have been stopped. They all should have been stopped.
Yeah,
you know
Clonmel, the whole lot. Yeah, yeah.
But as we spoke about earlier, the one in that loan wasn't stopped. They were still working the next day. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's all fucking smoke and mirrors. It is. It's all smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean? To distract you from something else. O'Gorman's had to be thrown under the bus today. You know, this is what they're doing now. O'Gorman is a distraction now for something else that's going to happen. You watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
we are, as I said, a bigger threat. You know, if we're standing together. And that's, you know what I mean, rather than, you know, all in separate groups and infighting or whatever other nonsense going on. You know what I mean? We are a bigger threat together. I was joking with the lads now, Glenn. I had to laugh, right? I've been ploughing away with all my social media posts, and a newspaper started to follow me. And I was joking with the lads, and I said, I'm either doing something really good or I'm doing something really bad.
Yeah. See, we're all doing something, you know what I mean? We're all doing our bit. We all have
we're all trying. At least we're doing something.
But we all have a role to play in this, you know what I mean? Every one of us has a role to play. It doesn't matter how big, how small it is. Martin said this a few weeks ago. We all have a role. We're all cogs in this wheel. So we all need to start working in the cogs, get it all working together, get a well-oiled machine, and we will take these then. We will take these. It's just the fact that there's no... Listen, we just haven't got it there yet. We're trying, but we haven't got it there yet. But we will get there, don't you worry. We will get there.
But we're all doing our best. We're all trying. You know what I mean? Like, this is all new to us. It's not like we knew any of this. Like, you know what I mean? Well, it's only in the last few years that any of us knew this was even coming. You know what I mean? We don't even know half the time what we're dealing with. You know? Yeah. But at least we're trying to do something.
Well, I'm a lot wider now than what I was this time last year, because we've ran 2 elections now. You know what I mean? Now we know what to do. We know how to do it. We know how to canvass. We know what to do. I myself don't think this government the last 5 years. So I think 2, maybe 2.5 years, there could be a general election. So this is where we need to be.
Might even last a year, Paul. That's why I'm saying we need to be ready. We need to be organised. We need to be ready. We need to be putting down the groundwork.
So again, hang on, adult conversation again, and I'm going to throw a spanner in the works. What's changed since the election? Because from a political point of view, it's more fractured than it's ever been.
As in, what do you mean, Martin?
I mean, moving forward.
If you want a nationalist government, and let's just say the government only lasted 6 months, let's just say something. It has to be something fairly catastrophic, because nothing else has collapsed the government, and there's been some very big stuff. But what's changed? What's different? What can nationalism offer the people of Ireland in 6 months' time, or even a year's time? And the answer is, and I'll be very, very blunt, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, I will take a page from your book, Martin. I suppose, even though it's more fractured, we did weed out those that were a problem, those that are problematic. I suppose those that are left now will form something bigger and stronger.
Oh, nice one, Glenn. Thanks for that.
Glenn, that's more of what's here.
Glenn.
No, not like that. Jesus.
Hang on.
Glenn, I know
we're still here. You're still here on the.
Glenn. No, Glenn, I know exactly what you meant. So expand.
So those that were running, they're gone completely. We're still here. We're still talking about it.
Who? Give an example. Who's?
Oh God, no! I'm not going to mention names, but I know some people have just dropped off completely, just disappeared. So. And
you don't think they'll be back as soon as another election?
I hope they wouldn't be, because if you feel like, this is not for me, I'm just going to give up, and
No, they'll all be back.
They will all be back. Of course they will.
Yeah, it's going to be even more fractured.
Yeah.
So there's one simple solution. The majority of people have the capability to do it. Some people don't, and that's the big problem at the minute. That some people do not have the capability. Maybe the intelligence. Maybe I don't know what they lack. But there is one single solution. It's very, very easy, and it's just been poo-pooed on, so to speak, by 1 or 2 people who are have held up and continue to hold up what needs to be done. And that's just from a political point of view. So those people need to either get lost or grow up. It's as simple as that. And that's the way it has to be. And that's just from the political point of view. But I'm beginning to lean towards there is no political solution, because I believe the system is too corrupt at this point. I do believe that we will, more than likely, perhaps not in my lifetime or any soon time, but I believe that Europe is heading for some form of civil war.
But they're saying that about the United Kingdom and France for the last 5-10 years now. So
yeah, but look, these things don't happen overnight.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think what we need to focus on is a professional opposition party, and then when we can set the ground running for that, we select our candidates, the most articulate and the best and the brightest that we have, and then we knock at Mandy McGrath's door, and we knock at Carol Nolan's door, and we ask them why we are one of the only 2 countries that still has this old voting system, and that people are worried about the democracy within this country, and that it needs to change, and they need to do it because they are elect, and they're so, as they put it, on our side. So we need to push that. We need to change it up. We need to do something different, because a lot of people don't think there's any point in voting. You hear it often said, these people are selected, not elected. If leaving conspiracies or ideas aside, there's a lot of people in the last 10 years who are young global leader graduates from 1992, Leo Varadkar, Macron, you had Justin Trudeau, all these guys all at the exact same time came into power. Just when everything got tyrannical. Bollocks. Yeah. We need to sort this out. Is that a coincidence or what?
I was just going back there to, is it
just look at the comments on it.
Is it Sean, Sheep? And he just said about, it took 800 years to get rid of the Brits, right? But look at the small crowd of men and what they established, because they worked together. Do you know what I mean? Like, as you said yourself, Martin, I agree with what you're saying. We need to be on the ground. You've always said that. Get involved in your communities. The more people you get to know, the more people you get to talk to. And as time goes on, more and more people will wake up. And then if they're not sure about something, they're going to go, oh, who can I ask? And then they'll soon realise who they can talk to, who they can ask without sounding crazy. Because there's going to be a lot of people who will start to wake up and think, oh my God, my line of thinking is mad about what's going on. But they'll soon learn who they can and cannot speak to. You know what I mean?
It took us a long while to defeat the English because we were fighting amongst ourselves, unfortunately.
Listen, lads, I'm going to be honest with you.
English.
I'm going to be honest with you. If England doesn't go to civil war over these rapes, I don't know what they're going to go to civil war over, because this is really out of hand now at this moment in time. It really is. Like, you've Keir Starmer, you've probably 7 or 8 Labour TDs or whatever have been arrested for child
11, Paul.
11, is it?
11, yeah.
On, like,
Yeah, I was talking to Doran earlier on. He said it to me. He said 11. Imagine. And that's the ones that they even know about. What about the rest?
Yeah.
We just have to wait for the ability of countries to stop printing money to run out, and that means stop borrowing money. Once countries can't do that anymore because of the way the economy is going, then things will escalate worse for everybody, and then people will. Well, look, that's that. I'm not saying I'm hoping for it. I hope it never happen, but that's when civil war usually breaks down, because people haven't got things in their life to distract them. And when then things disappear, in terms of your Mars bars and whatever else you buy and your iPads, whatever distracts you when you come home from work every day to not see all the problems in life, when they start to disappear and you realize there's problems everywhere, then that's when people start focusing more on politics and how bad the country is. So just wait for the economic collapse, and then you will see a shift. I'm not being funny now. I'm actually very serious. Don't think.
No, you're right, Glenn. I actually agree with you. And actually, Paul, what you said there about over in England, right? Of course, bad and all it is with the rapes of women. That is absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
But when they start, there is something that's even worse, and that's them coming after the children.
Yeah.
Like, that is where the line should be drawn.
Now, you will have a shift towards people. You'll have people shifting more towards left wing politics as well. Like we may be the first country in Europe that will not get a right wing government taking away Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael and coming in to fix the problem. They may beat us, and you'll have like Sinn Féin and People for Profit and all of the left wing parties take control of this country and cause more problems. So.
I had a conversation with somebody once who said that that's more than likely what will happen is we will have a Sinn Féin led government before we'll ever have a nationalist-led government. And, he said, yeah, but he said that was necessary to, it's part of the process, you know what I mean? That things are bad, but they have to get fucking way, way worse.
Yes.
But my response to that is people will put their rose-tinted sunglasses on and just go back to Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael after whatever terror the lefties put back in them. They'll look back and say, "Oh, sure, Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael weren't that bad." You cannot rely on that. That the communism and Marxism in this country has to be defeated, has to be destroyed.
Absolutely.
We cannot. We as a people will never ever recover from a fully left-leaning government. I'm telling you, we will never ever recover.
And that's important, Martin, because people say, why don't you just leave the politics behind? People said to us a lot, and it would kill me that people don't have a real the fear of people not having a real democratic right in this country after what we've been through the last 100 years in this country. To think that it's a fix or it's all leaning whatever way, it's completely tyrannical and corrupt, and to walk away from it without trying to fix it. I think the people deserve to have a real opposition party, not fake opposition like Sinn Féin, and a professional one that they can suit, that will stand for them. And that's what we should all be focusing on now.
We've also discussed this, that like there's a lot of people, a minority of people calling for, revolution, and we'll do this and we'll do that, and we should burn this down and burn that down, and all the other talk. What then? You know what I mean? So even if you just choose that, I don't want to get into politics now, and we'll have a revolution and we'll take back the country. Well, what then? What runs it? Whether you like it or not, you need systems. And like I like the concept of libertarian government, very, very small, stay out of your life. So you still need something in place after all the pieces fall, and you're rebuilding and you're putting out the fires, etc., etc. You have to have systems. So people spitting on politics, I think they have a little bit of a lack of understanding about how the world works. And you know what? I don't like it either. But this is the reality. Unfortunately, we need some form of elected representative to manage the policies that are put in place, and even tackle the problems from within, like the civil service, etc. So people saying that politics won't solve anything, it mightn't solve anything, but try living without it. Go to a country where there's been go to a country where there's been a military coup and an entire political collapse. I'm trying to think where was the most. It was in Indonesia somewhere, wasn't it? Or that part of the world, there was a massive military coup there, and like it's happened in South America several times. Go live in one of those countries without government, and come back to me and tell me you don't need
anarchists. You're talking about an anarchist uprising in one of the countries.
No, I'm talking like military coups, even, like, you know what I mean, when the military take over, you know what I mean. Like, once your system, so basically what happens when there is some form of a coup like that, eventually water stops running. Your power systems go to, so anybody who is out power for as some people are out power for 4 or 5 days, multiply that by, put that into 4 or 5 months, and see how you get on then. So
was it the Philippines or somewhere? He got rid of a woman, wasn't it? Yeah. She was fucking friends with Bill Gates and all the rest of them and the whole lot. That one.
Yeah, was she?
This comment about Mark Zuckerberg again, like that was interesting, because that was the state government. Look, this is what we were saying for the last couple of years, and people just couldn't see the wood from the trees for some reason. They fed them what to take. They told them to censor doctors and scientists who were pushing back against the climate change alarmism and against the vaccine stuff. They were all censored for one narrative based on the currently elected government. So freedom of speech was destroyed to suit an agenda and profiteering. So, like, they're in charge of politics now. You can say, look, that's the deep state. America is obviously very different to here, but we can obviously see that we're being censored. Like, this is the first time in weeks we've been able to go live on my YouTube for whatever piece. I think it's once you put up Who was it,
Dr.
Paul?
McCullough. Dr. McCullough.
Yeah, Dr. McCullough.
Peter
Yeah,
McCullough.
Dr. McCullough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once it hears his voice, the algorithm knocks it. Boom, gone.
Yeah, like, and you can see it on. Look, me and Orla were talking about it today. You know, TikTok and all that. You know how our Facebook views, how they go up and down so much, and the hashtags all matter. The algorithm catches whatever. Things have changed in the last 5 years across the world. Free speech isn't. I don't know. Like, you look at Mark Zuckerberg, everyone kind of thinks, "Oh, this is great. It's going to be like X, and everything's going to be fine again." And we can see. Do you see the Miss Beauty pageant 2024 versus 2025, and all of a sudden she's back to a normal looking woman? You know, are we returning to sanity?
This is what I said at the start of the show.
A bit too far.
I said this at the start of the show.
Did you
about
start?
Zuckerberg? Yeah, at Zuckerberg. That woke is gone. Woke is dead. It's gone. The woke mind virus is fucking gone now.
Is it though, Paul? I don't know. Well, maybe it was. Maybe it was just a phase that we went through.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kind of come and go that quickly. It's very, very strong. Like, I can see pride flags all over Carlow Town still, in Halfords, on the street crossings. Like, they're getting funding in the playgrounds. It's all very new still. Inside the schools, you know, people not realising how it's nothing to do with
they
buying a bike in
allowed
Halfords. Or
they shouldn't be allowed fly them anywhere. I don't care. Listen, I don't care what people.
You can't go for a pint without one hanging over you in Carlow Town. It's fucking ridiculous.
Ask me how. You know what I mean? There's no crosses hanging over you. There's no fucking. There's no papal banners hanging over you. You know, like, I'm a Catholic. Where's the Pope's banner? Put that over me. I know we all have a. I'm just putting that out there as a flag. You know what I mean? A holy flag. I'm not saying.
But you wouldn't see that, Paul, if the home team won some international.
Yeah, I know. That's why I stopped. But you know what I mean? There's nothing holy anywhere.
Like, Paul, like, but even if the home, say it wasn't religious even, because I know that argument's always made, even if it was a local sporting team who had won the league, you wouldn't see that much about it in every fucking, in every fucking shop and on the street. They wouldn't paint the road colours different. It's fucking ridiculous how people don't see it, like, you know.
Well, look at that picture. Did you see that picture? What do you call it? In the courthouse in Cork, where they had
mattresses.
Was it a Pakistani flag or something? Pakistani flag, and they had a small Irish flag, but it was torn backwards.
Yeah,
excuse me. That was not the.
Limerick City.
That was Limerick County Council offices.
That's was it Limerick? I thought it was Cork. Sorry.
No. Oh, Cork. Yeah, Cork. Yeah, sorry. I actually have it there, and I'm going to share it with you now.
Yeah.
There it is,
and just look to the side at the Irish flag. It's backwards.
Hey, we're in the Ivory Coast, folks.
Yeah, no, I'd say you can see the stick there. They stuck it the wrong way. The fucking idiots. Look.
Well, what's that big flag doing up there?
But what the fuck what's going on there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is going on there?
Crescent
like, come on.
Is that Turkey?
That's a Pakistani flag, I think.
It is. Pakistani, I think. Yeah.
Fuck off, please, lads. Come on. You know, come on. Let's be honest. Somebody just asked who them 11 Labour councillors were or TDs were. I have a little video there. It's only 2 minutes long. I'm going to play it for you, just who they were. I counted 50 there, lads. I don't know about yours, but I counted 50 there since 2011.
Oh, yeah.
In 13 years,
Jesus
50.
Christ.
Come on, lads. Jesus Christ. It's no wonder they didn't want this coming out. You know what I mean?
But that's just Labour. That's just Labour. That's not any of the rest of
Just
them.
Labour. Yes, just Labour. That's what I'm saying. 50 of them. Holy jeez. I didn't realise it was that many. When it was counting there, I was going, that's 10, that's 11. And we're only 30 seconds into it. I thought, wow.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, man.
And I have a
That's,
video. I recorded a video from Twitter earlier on. I just had too much up on Facebook today. I said I'll do it tomorrow, so I'll do the whole lot together. But yeah, an ex Labour as well, trying to meet up with a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah,
And then like the excuses he was using to try and get out of it. He was caught by these paedophile hunters that are over in the UK. Like he was just listening to him, and the excuses he was coming up with was absolutely madness. Like, do you know, like something seriously wrong with these people.
You tell him. I have it here. I'll play it in a few minutes, but I won't bother. But
look, the reality is paedophiles used to hide in the Catholic Church. Paedophiles exist in society. They always look for places of power and places of security and safety. So when they got found out in the church, they went into, and no one will ever convince me that this isn't true. They went into politics and media, and that's where they hide now.
But that's none of us.
Yeah. No, well, no. Well, we're not in politics yet. Bit of media, maybe, but yeah. But,
yeah, you're right. As in, look at Jimmy Savile and all that. Like, do you know? I mean, and then there was ones in RT and there was ones in other places. You're right. Like, you know, it's a good place to hide.
Politics and media in 20 or 30 years' time, the stuff that's going to come out about our
BBC
current government, and a lot of people stepped away from politics this time around, didn't they? There was a lot of Gaylor stepped away, and guarantee you 20 years' time.
Yeah, it'll all come out. Have any of you seen the video? Now, I know I'm probably bashing the Muslims again, but hey, listen, it's what it is. The Islam in Australia. Have you seen this one where the girl went to do a documentary and the police chief came up to her and told her? Have you not seen this one?
No.
It's 2 minutes long. This is what happens in these areas. They turn into no-go areas. You're not allowed to go down near the mosque or just watch this. It's only 2 minutes. I'm gonna go inside to stick on the kettle. So if we come back and I'm not here, just continue on without me.
I'm headed to an area called Lakemba in Sydney, Australia, and it's supposed to be a very high Muslim population area. As soon as we arrived in Lakemba, things were tense. There were heads turning, people coming out of shops to look at us and find out what we were doing. Men started yelling in Arabic across the street at us. As we went to go for a walk to the local mosque, a very high-ranked police officer came up to me and begged with me, do not go there.
Is it?
Speaking.
Inspector Rick Ages from Campsie Police.
Yep.
I've been informed that you're intending to attending the Lakemba Mosque, is that correct?
I actually have no intentions of attending. I was just planning on walking through the streets and seeing how the culture was here.
Yes?
Yep.
Are you satisfied with that?
Yep.
So where do you intend on walking to now?
I was just going to walk out and check how the mosque was.
Check where the mosque was?
Yep. Would I not be allowed to attend if I wanted to?
I've got grave concerns that you may cause an imminent breach of the peace down there, so I'm asking you not to attend.
Why would I cause a breach of the peace?
Because it's highly religious down there.
So would it be me causing a breach of the peace, or would it be the people there?
Well, your presence may cause them to be offensive and be objective to your attending there.
And so that would be them being offended by me.
Can you not interview me?
No, you fear people will be offended by me.
No, yeah.
Yes, thank you.
And you're committing a breach of the peace. I've given you that warning. And if you do that, you may be breaking the law. Do you understand that?
Yep, I understand it. I perfectly understand. As far as I'm concerned, you have Sharia law here. As far as I'm concerned. Yeah, we'll go to jail if we talk to people. As far as I'm concerned, they have Sharia law here. I was told if I talk to people, even if I put all my cameras away, I can't criticize Islam to people here on a public street in Australia, in Sydney. Don't tell me you don't have no-go zones. Don't tell me this is a multicultural country. Lakemba is a monoculture, and it is one that does not allow critique of Islam. It is one that does not allow free speech because it is conquered land.
happen here as well.
It's already happening here.
It's already happening.
It's already happened in the cities. There are Muslim enclaves in the cities. Limerick has one. Dublin has quite a few.
Did you see the photograph of the? I might have been the British police, and they're all doing their prayers during their break time. You know, there's a lot of. Sure, we saw our own. Did we see our own? They were the Gardaí were doing a workshop for recruiting Islamic candidates to join the force.
You're going to see that over the next 5 years, that the police force in Ireland, because Irish people won't join for various different reasons, you're going to see a change in An Garda Síochána, and it will no longer be majority Indigenous Irish in policing us. I suppose the most important thing to remember is that the An Garda Síochána was set up with the concept of policing by consent. So we maybe somebody with a better legal mind than me should look into that, because I think at their core we have to consent to be policed. But like I said, I need to do a bit more digging on that, or if anybody else has information.
Well, you know what's interesting, Martin, with the Department of Justice, and I've said this before, from coming from it a bit, the DEI destroying the West. Mikey Tip just put it in. Like that's all throughout. Like Carlo Garda car with all the pride colours going around the whole time. You have all of the emails from the court system, all have the pride colours at their signature all year round. The army now, the Department of Defence, they all have to do diversity training. This is a massive agenda. And it's already injected into our police force, into our justice system, into our civil service, public service. It's incredible. You see it on the buses, you see it in the Lewises, the trams, on the streets. Like this in the courts. Scary times. We're already there. We're halfway there anyway. We're going to see it a lot worse.
Yeah, do you remember there was a police car in Kilkenny and it was literally covered in the pride colours? Do you remember that there a few months ago?
Stop,
Kilkenny, was it?
Yeah, Kilkenny.
So in relation to the video that lady played here, so how do Irish citizens go about stopping
this? Yeah.
So how do you do it? Any ideas? Like, you know what I mean? That how do you stop? They call it multiculturalism, but she was right. What you have.
Well, Martin, look what avenues we have to go. Like you have, like even to sign a petition, the change.org is bought up by Bill Gates in the last 2 years. Like, it's bizarre. The whole thing is bizarre how people aren't connecting these dots. These are all the same people from the WEF. They have this for Ireland. They call it UN Sustainability Goals. It's the Agenda 2030. It's exactly what it is. We all know it. Like, well, 90% of us in the same circles know it.
But we know it. But what we never talk about is we identify the problem, but we rarely come up with a solution. So we should be using this to brainstorm and get people to throw comments in the chat. What do you do? There's no point in saying, "Oh, you burn it all down," or this, that, or the other. I'm tired of I want solutions. Okay, there is a political route, but it's going to take a very, very, very long time. It's there. It has to be respected. There are people building things in the background all the time, but that's a long-term goal. In the short term, what can you do to stop Islamic communities, monocultural communities, right, growing in Ireland? What can you do within the reams of the law? How do you combat that? So I've already spoken about. So you starve them out through not spending money. Do not support their businesses. There's nothing illegal about doing that. You're a free individual. You can spend money where you want, but do not spend it. In fact, everything you don't
stop incentivizing
it. But every cent you don't spend, then go and spend in your local Irish business. Go to your local butcher. Go to your local shop if there's still a family-run business near you or anything like that. Spend your money there. Put the money back into the to the Irish economy.
There's loads of businesses. All your barbers.
Right,
your taxis. Go to your Irish taxis.
Yeah, Orla, what you did during your campaign, and you're still doing it, going around to businesses in Carlow. So let's promote that idea that there should be an Orla in every town going around promoting an Irish-owned business.
I like that idea, an Orla in every town. That's
Thanks, Glenn.
Lads, check the private chat there. Will you check the private chat? Just have a look at the private chat there for me. But don't stop talking. Keep talking, lads. You're multitaskers. Come on, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need to stop these mosques coming in.
Right now,
Martin.
as you said yourself, like we'd say the chippers, go to, we'd say an Irish-owned chippers. You know what I mean? Or a barbers or taxis or whatever that, yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And but what Martin was saying, don't spend your money there, and taxation, like at least stop incentivizing them. We've seen this Islamic funding and the Bank of Ireland. It's actually worse in the UK, but we have that on gov.ie or revenue.ie. Sorry, they're incentivizing them to start up their own businesses here and all the rest. So
it's very hard, Anthony, not to be given the money. Every garage you go into is owned by an Indian or a Pakistani. Every shop you go into now is owned by an Indian or a Pakistani. You're afraid to leave the bleeding gate open in case they put a corner shop into your garden. Like, you know what I mean? They're everywhere now. Like, it's gone ridiculous. Like, you know what I mean? They have the franchise on everything. And we were told this last year that they were being incentivized and given 80 grand coming in here to start a business. That happened with the Ukrainians. And if you look at the amount of phone shops and car shops and body shops that are all registered here and nobody working in them, hairdressers and everything, just so as you get the 80 grand and they probably fucked off back with it. You know what I mean? I don't know. But they're being incentivized. If you were giving me 80 grand to start my own business, we'd all be flying, wouldn't we? The country would, it's crazy shit, like, really is. I'm just going to move myself over to the middle. Oh, that's better now. There you are, Fitzy. There you are. Now.
You see, you're just centre right there now, aren't you, Paul?
I was always centre right. Always centre right. Yeah.
Oh, Lord God.
So we should actually, just the reason I'm going to start up a new Spaces, the reason I was talking about solutions and issues and things like that is, sorry now to hijack the conversation, but I'm going to start up a new Spaces on that very, very concept. What Now Irishman, where we have we'll do one topic per night. And we'll see, is there anybody with actual solutions out there? Anybody who can come up with an actual solution from start to finish, an actual policy from start to finish, or an actual movement from start to finish to deal with one specific issue per week. And let's just try and get some of the best and brightest minds on this thing, because we're talking for fucking 5 years now. And do you know what I mean? We're I won't say we're going backwards, but we're sure as hell not moving forwards. So we need to get better, brighter, more articulate people involved in just having conversations, having rants and raves about this, that, and all of the entities that people like to blame, whether it be Jews, Rothschilds, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not well read enough to know is that true or not. I'm aware of it all, but I haven't dug deep enough into any of it to actually be able to make a formed opinion. But what I do know is that our country's in trouble, and I want people to share solutions out loud that may actually work and may actually help, whether it be just in your local. You might live in a village of 100 people and you have an idea. If you can get 5 people to work with you, you're flying. You might live in the heart of Dublin City. Do you know what I mean? You might be able to get 5,000 people to work with you. Do you know what I mean? Just ideas and conversation. Okay, that's what makes it.
Just to add something there, Martin, if you do this space and you get people when you want these ideas, it'd be good to try to get people that are fundamentally, with a certain ideology. So you can get someone that believes in libertarianism. You can get someone that believes in capitalism.
I talked to Glenn. You should know at this point I talk to everybody.
Yeah. But I mean, when you say if you start one of these X's, try to get someone that represents each one.
Yeah.
And I mean this in a very serious way. Try to get everybody. You put people on the left as well. Like.
Yeah. No. So there's certain ideologies. So if I believe it's harmful to the population.
I don't mean like the ones we think is absolutely bonkers. I mean, like those are liberal.
Lib Dems and stuff. I understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying to you is there are ideologies that I believe are harmful to the indigenous population.
Yeah.
And those people are my enemy, and I'm sorry, my enemy is for removing, nothing else. So it's a case of when I say I'll speak to everybody, I'll speak to every reasonable, rational human being. If you support communism or Marxism in any form, you're not a reasonable and rational human being.
No, but I mean, there's a good few ideologies still on the left that you don't really hear about, and I don't know if just in terms of maybe anarcho-liberalism and liberalism itself on the left.
The problem with that is, you see, it doesn't work. You end up with savage. That's essentially fucking Lord of the Flies, like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's just an idea to hear different ideas.
But again, this is with all due respect, I will not waste my very precious time on anything that is nonsense or will not work. You know what I mean? I'm looking for solutions and systems that may help, we'll say, with my view of the world. And my view of the world is very, very fucking simple. It's saving as many Irish lives as possible.
But I mean, you said you wanted ideas. What about the likes of monarchies or dictatorships or anything?
Monarchies,
like that?
So, like benevolent dictatorship. If humanity wasn't so flawed, benevolent dictatorship would actually work. But the last, you know, you're talking Messiah type figures. You know what I mean? That's how far fetched benevolent dictatorship is. Monarchies definitely a system you could look at if there was a genealogy trace back, so we could find out the last High King of Ireland was.
Martin, I think I told you this before. And you may not like it. There's only one legitimate heir to Ireland, and Irish people would never accept that person as their. Like in terms of you could look for someone that's purely Irish or whatever it is, but if you want to look back and for legitimacy, who's the actual who can claim the throne of Ireland? You will not like the answer, and the answer is it's King Charles. And I mean this in a very serious way. Nobody will accept that, but the reason why he has legitimacy is because he has the bloodline when it goes all the way back to the Kingdom of Ireland and England, when there was a king that represented the.
We had kings in Ireland long before the monarchy.
Absolutely. But in terms of legitimacy.
That's the only that it would be the only genealogy I would be interested in. I said the High Kings of Ireland, not the Germans.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, you did say that. Sorry.
Well,
lads, we move on here. Let's move on there for a minute. Anthony, you posted this last week. I saw a video you posted during the week about this significant fraud of hotels for Ukrainians. Accommodation providers asked to return funds with hundreds of contracts terminated. Hundreds of state contracts for accommodation for Ukrainian refugees have now been terminated as investigations into allegations of significant fraud continue. This is crazy, isn't it? The amount of money here involved in all of this.
Like, it's, I can't even say some of the documents we've been given recently about how deep all this really goes, and it will be said in time. I'll tell you well know. I just mean I can't say it out publicly at the moment, but this is all human trafficking, money laundering. It's all the agenda of it. It's destroying our culture, whether that's just, a happy happenstance that they are going by. But we can see these guys. I see these guys every day. Like me and Orla talk about Jermaine with his 37.5 million he's earned the last 6 months. That's not even include all of his properties. Like these guys rolling around in Porsches and above the law. And it's bizarre to me, and I'm not calling for anything, but it's bizarre to me how these guys still live the life of luxury, unhassled by anybody in society and never ousted. Like how, people still eat in their restaurants and, it's fucking crazy. But it's so obvious at this stage how much of, how our, Fáilte Ireland, where all them adverts gone. We don't care about Ireland and what it stands for anymore. It's culture, it's thriving. All the ads about being proud, they're all for advertisement, because nobody who puts a shirt on RTE and works, takes money off them, stands for any part of Irish history or Irish pride. So we need to do that.
Anthony, we don't need Fáilte Ireland anymore. I mean, there's hardly any hotels for Irish people or anyone else to stay in anymore because they're all taken over by iPass.
Yeah. Well, and it's worse, Orla. I'm driving. I live rurally here in South Kildare, and all the old Protestant townhouses that were sitting there, people are all walking the roads now. even on the back roads. It's very, very scary. It's not families, and we know it's not families, because there's obviously something more sinister there at play. But you look at Tohers. Do you think nobody answered Shinadina if IPAS were going to replace the Ukrainians? But this is what we're seeing. This is what happened in Floods Cross. This has happened in them nursing homes across the west of Ireland. We've seen all this. And nursing homes is a whole other thing. Throwing people out. Cherry Orchard, where there was women on hunger strike because they had nowhere to go, and they still just filled it with IPAS people. Like, they're throwing our elderly who pay tax all their lives in this country.
Yeah. But it's so hard to get nursing homes. I know my mother was in one for 13 years, and it is impossible to try and get nursing homes, and a good nursing home. So why are they closing them? Do you know what I mean? Then replace them with IPAS.
Yeah.
It's a form of hidden tax. The government is not paying for things it knows it can't afford anymore, because it has to divert its funds to somewhere else. So instead of taxing you for your money, where you'll end up noticing it and getting pissed off by it, the government will just start removing not strategic, what's the word? Vital infrastructure or vital resources going to infrastructure or vital services that are there. They'll just remove it and stop paying for it, and that'll save them money, and they can divert the funds somewhere else. It's a form of hidden tax. You just don't see it. It's a great way.
I'm just saying Victoria is in the comments there. Are you ready to have me on, guys? We've 10 minutes left, Victoria. Hardly worth your fucking while. We'll only have you in and you'll be gone. So we'll do another show. We'll have you on one of the other shows, Victoria. That's no problem, huh?
Victoria, Victoria. I talked to her twice. She's one of our candidives. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah. She ran up in Dublin. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a bit late now to be bringing anyone on. We've only 10 minutes left. And I just wanted to show this video. It's a quick one. It's for one of the hardest working councillors in this town. I'll give him this much.
How are you folks? Councillor Gavin Pepper here, and I've a bit of good news. There was a girl who was fighting for the house for years. We're all made aware of it a long time ago. She was promised a house by politicians who lied to her and didn't do anything for her, really. But she's had to be housed. She had to get in this house here behind me. Great news. She's the lawyer, the family of the lawyer, and she deserves it. 17 years on the list waiting, the girl was. And a big shout out to Brian, the housing officer in Ballymun, and the council staff who pushed for it as well. She well deserves this house. Great news.
Well done,
Brilliant.
Councillor Pepper.
Tell Gavin we want him on the show. Where has he been the last while?
Nah, he's been doing shit now. He has. Now I've one more just to show you, Gavin, as well. This is outside Arbor Hill Prison this morning.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
This is all about your paedophiles and where your taxpayer money is going. So,
how are you, folks? Councillor Gavin Pepper here. I'm here at Arbor Hill Prison. And the reason why I'm doing my video over here is because this is where sex offenders and paedophiles are sentenced to when they're in court, if they ever go here. We all know Judge Martin Nolan gives them suspended sentences to beat the band in this country. But the ones that do go here, you'd say to yourself, how are they treated after destroying some girl's life or some child's life? They're actually treated very well. In 2021, over €5,000 was spent on televisions for the prisoners in here. Netflix subscriptions. I mean, people in Ireland some people can't afford to pay a Netflix subscription. But if you're a paedophile or a sex offender in Arbor Hill, you get special treatment and you get to watch it. Is that justice? No, it's not. Anybody that abuses a child, I think we should bring in laws like chemical castration to stop these crimes from happening. But it doesn't happen. Then you look over in the UK, what's going on with the Muslim grooming gangs, scumbag Keir Starmer and his party. All of them, they don't want to have a proper inquiry into it. They actually voted against it. And then you had Ivor Kaplan, a former Labour Party member, after being caught by the paedophile hunters over in the UK. Will you see Aon O'Riordan or find a package of the Labour Party in Ireland speak out for that? Not a word out of it. Mary Lou MacDonald doesn't care. Simon Harris doesn't care. Richard Boyd Barrett, Paul Murphy, Holly Cairns, they all don't give a fiddler's toss about this. In fact, they go on about Donald Trump and how they were calling him out for ages. Watch how they go lick his arse and bring over a bowl of shamrocks in March to him. Mark Zuckerberg is changing his tone, saying he was forced into not being allowed people to speak out on his platform. Irish media are a disgrace in this country. They haven't spoke out about these things. And then this is in parallel with what's going on here. A UCD report before was calling for an investigation into the abuse that was going on with children in state care homes over here. Not a word out of politicians over here. So you got to ask yourself, Irish people, if your missus or your child or your sister was ever assaulted, would you get justice for it? Would you, like, really? I don't think so. Not under this shitty judicial system.
There you go.
Sorry, poor Glenn. Poor Glenn was getting all excited there with the hardest working councillor.
Gavin takes that by a mile. Like, I can never compete with that man. Absolutely brilliant. And I keep asking you, Paul, someone needs to send me on that video where he goes after the Judge Martin Nolan, where he said, I told you he'd be great. He chased him out to the car. So I need to see that video again, so someone needs to send it.
He does it all the time. He does all the time. He's brilliant.
Can I give a shout out to there's something launched. Shinadina launched the community stories tab there today on the page. People were messaging Shinadina asking how they could get involved, and I did say, we did put out that if they could get 10 people and report back, and there's been a few ideas, but there's another way that they can be involved and they can tell their story, what's actually happened locally to them. We will put it up weekly. We'll update them. If the news aren't running or the radios aren't listening, write it to us. We'll put it in. Put your first name and where you live, and we'll publish it. So we can be our own voices for the country and start replacing the normal media that's out there. So let's get the narrative back on track to the truth. So that's on the community stories. Just drop your story to shinadina@gmail.com.
Yeah, exactly. Get them all in there. And anything, if you have anything you do want to talk about on the show, or if you do want to come on the show, contact us during the week or on Friday or whatever, and we'll have a chat. I can do an interview with you, or you can come on the chat on here live with us and talk to us as well. So listen, we'll try that from next week. You know what I mean? So like, nobody's ringing in on the bleeding, I have the banners going across there. Look, call me. Nobody's calling me, like, so hey, listen, what do you do? But from next week, we'll try and get people in. You can come in yourself and have a chat with us. You know what I mean? We had a couple of lads do that during the year last year, and it went well enough. You know what I mean? So yeah, somebody's just posted in there anything about what happened at the train station during the week. We've all seen the video, like, you know what I mean? Have you seen it?
Yeah, the man in the shotgun.
A man travelled in from Maynooth, an old man with a shotgun. Like, Jesus Christ, man. In the current climate, man, come on, what were you thinking? Like, or maybe he wasn't thinking, he was an English old guy, and of course the lefties were all on to, he wasn't foreign, the far right are sick, he wasn't foreign. I didn't give a shit what he was once the blatant shotgun was taken off him, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
It was, but then Val did another video of a migrant being searched, and he found the bleeding scissors. They took a big scissors out of the bag, like, come on. What are they doing? Cutting things? We're cutting bows to put on people's heads. No, you're not. You know what I mean? Fuck off. And there's me again up Tuesday or Wednesday now to...
Yeah, maybe he was sorting out a few cable ties.
Oh, man, I tell you, yeah. I should have just said I was cutting through. Fuck it, I was cutting through. That seems to be the way you get away with shit now, you know what I mean? Sitting in a taxi cutting
on Moore Street.
Yeah. Come on, lads. Get a grip with this, for fuck's sake.
Oh, sure, there's another thing. There's Moore Street. Look at them trying to get rid of it as well.
Oh, stop. It's gone.
And like, that's old Dublin. Like, you know what I mean? I can't, like, they're looking to put an iPass in there. But again, why can't people turn around and say, well, why can't that money be put back into, bringing back Moore Street to what it was? The days of, like, we'll say, the Mrs. Brown and the fruit and vegetable store. That's old Dublin.
The Moore family will take that back soon enough. Don't worry.
Sorry, that's what you'll be, is it?
Moore Street is in shit. You only have to walk down Moore Street. It's in shit. Listen, I don't go into town for that simple fact, because it's not town anymore. It's not town anymore.
But Moore Street was the real old Dublin.
So it's Talbot Street.
Yeah.
You walk up Talbot Street now, and all you're seeing is Roma gangs and migrants everywhere. Everywhere. They're fighting with each other with machetes. They're bashing each other outside shops. And it's got that much of a norm. People are just walking by. They're not even looking at them anymore. They're not batting an eyelid. That's not the country I grew up in. You know what I mean? That's not the country. And that's not the country I want my kids growing up in either, where, Dad, someone got murdered down at the shopping centre in Blanche today. Oh, did they? Oh, yeah. So someone got murdered yesterday. Like, that's the way it's going to get in the next couple of years if we don't fucking stop this. And that's what we need to do.
I know.
As I said, we do need unity. I get what you're saying, Martin. I do. We do need unity, and we do need to all come together for the greater good and stop this shit. You know what I mean? We do. But, that's my rant over now.
Yeah.
We've no more videos left to play. We've 5 minutes left, yeah. So hey, listen, sure, we can finish early and come. We can all meet up in the studio in a few minutes. Talk about there for the last 2 minutes or whatever, lads.
Yeah, well, look, I suppose when you're talking about bringing the unity, we do need to refocus on that, and people deserve to know, because a lot of people followed us around, a lot of people voted for us, a lot of people donated to us. They deserve to know that we're not standing down on this, and that, you know, the Irish people who are aware of all this stuff and are very upset about it deserve a viable political party opposition, and the people that they put their faith in. It was never going to be over after November 29th. You know, the fight, Ireland's still being destroyed, and we've never seen the tyranny and corruption that this country is facing right now. So we all need to bandy together, and whatever that means, brainstorm if you will. But like Martin said, we need to stop the bickering and infighting, realise that we're all for the one cause, and get behind each other and push on. There he is there now, huh?
Yeah, good man, Pat.
There he is. I'm gonna put up Patter's thing.
Sorry, I have to disagree with Pat Casey. Orla is one of the lads.
Yeah, Orla, get your growl.
Oh, she's gone, Angel. Oh, she's gone running.
Okay, I just want to throw this out again. Knock down to the Knock Shrine next Sunday, the 19th at 1 o'clock. If you can make it, get there. Please get there, because we need everyone we can to be there. That's one of the holiest places in this country, and we need to save it. Martin?
Yes.
Oh, it's going to be serious now.
Do you want to say anything there just to finish up?
I've said everything I need to say for tonight. Very serious. I'm going to slowly but surely turn this into an extremely serious show, Paul.
Yeah.
You want to play about that, Martin? Yeah.
Go on, I'll drop you down.
Glenn, you'd lose so bad.
I know you would. I know exactly why I'd lose.
Right, lads, I'm going to drop you down. Orla, I'll talk to you in a few minutes. Thank you very much. Glenn, thank you very much. Thank you, buddy. Martin, I'll drop you down, talk to you in a bit. Anthony, thanks very much. Great show again tonight. Yeah. Good listeners. We had, hang on, what we got there at the end? We'd 1,500 watching live. That's blatant great sin is that we're not using the IFP stuff anymore. So, yeah. Anthony, thanks very much.
Fair play, Paul. Appreciate it. Again, to next week, we'll have more to talk about.
We will. Thank you very much. And I usually just change my background now, but I tell you, yeah. But what I wanted to do was I just wanted to put this out here. Yeah, this is my nephew, Leavitt Simons. He died on Wednesday, and fair play, Lee. God bless you, son. We'll see you on Wednesday. So on that note, people, I'm going to finish up now tonight, and I'm going to say, as I say every Sunday night, the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. You just have to let it loose, and it will defend itself. Good night and God bless.